back to the Bronx Journal with our guest Sid Wilson, who is telling us all about this great idea of a new museum for Latino history and Latino culture in Washington, D.C. It's really a pleasure having you on the program because you're giving us an education here about all this planning that's going on.
Yeah.
And tell me, you were telling me when we went to break that when we were watching that video, a lot of celebrities on that video.
Yes.
But also you were telling me that there's celebrities on the commission.
That's correct. You know, we have, there's 23 members of the commission in total, and two of them are very well known. Of course, Eva Longoria Parker, actress, and Emilio Estefan, who, as we know, is
promoter of all the musicians in the world.
You know, great book, husband to Gloria Estefan, and but a person, but a great humanitarian. Both of them very philanthropic and giving back to the community. So, and I've gotten a chance to work with both of them, and they're two very down-to-earth individuals who are very committed to this cause.
So you've told us already that in September you expect to present this report to Congress and to the President.
That's correct.
And realistically, what's the timetable thereafter?
Well, what's going to happen is that once we submit our report to Congress, that report is going to give a framework on what a bill would look like if they were to pass a bill, because basically Congress would have to pass two bills. One would be to create the actual museum itself, and then the second part is to at least give an appropriations to get it started so that we can begin the process of creating the governance structure and preparing for the process of, you know, eventually leading towards a groundbreaking of a location, and also beginning to fundraise, because even if we, even regardless of what we get from Congress, we're still going to have to raise a significant amount of funds privately.
You don't expect government to pay for this whole thing. Basically, it's just for the foundation.
Well,
and then thereafter, you need public funding, foundations.
From foundations and from individuals. So, and that's why we want to be sure that that not only does Congress and the public understand that this is a national initiative, but this is also a project that we want Americans to see, because one of our the mission of the museum is to illuminate an American story for the benefit of all. We don't want this to be just a museum for you know, for Latinos to come and go, although it's going to be great that Latinos will come and see our own history. But we want Americans to understand that the Latino history is an American history.
And that we have a proud history of contributions to this country.
Absolutely.
And that some of us got here first, no?
That's correct. And so, you know, and that's going to be very important, so that when visitors come to see the museum, that they see that this is a history that goes back as far back as discovery of America. And so so we want this to be a top-notch report that we're going to be submitting, which we think will be the foundation, putting together what I think will be one of the most historic projects in the history of the Latino community, one of the most historic in the history of American museums.
Okay, but if everything goes well and everybody in Congress says, okay, we love it, realistically, how far off do you think we'll actually get to visit this museum?
Yes, well, if you look at history, building anything in Washington, D.C. Takes years. And I don't expect this to be any different. What you could expect is that even after the bill is passed and the appropriations have been made, you now have to start going through all the detailed feasibilities and
designing the place,
design, environmental studies, and of course, depending on whether we're going to be going to an existing building or whether we're going to create it from a new building. I mean, those are all different options that are going to take place. But because of the fact that you know, doing anything in Washington, D.C., specifically on or near the National Mall, requires a lot. There is bureaucracy. History has shown that it does take many years.
You mentioned the African American Museum that's
Yes.
going to be started in 2015, you said?
Yes,
So how long has this been going on for them?
Yeah, the National Museum of African American History and Culture, that commission was created in 2003. This is to give you a good time frame.
Yeah.
They're expecting to do their groundbreaking for the museum in 2012.
Okay.
With a completion date of 2015.
All right.
So if you use
So
that,
we got something to look forward to.
Yes.
That's around the corner.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you look at that model now, what we have done is that we've looked at all the best practices of what the African American Museum could have done to speed up their process. What did the National Museum of the American Indian do to speed up their process? The Holocaust Museum, when that was created, what did they do to help speed up the process, so that we can understand what were some of the things that that we could do to help speed this up. I would love to say that sometime maybe within the next 10 years, it would be nice. It's going to require us to really do things very perfectly. Now, the good news is that we were given 2 years to create this report, and we're already 1 year ahead of schedule.
That's terrific.
So
that's
that's
really
something
good.
that may bring us one step closer to getting this done. But there's no question, it's going to take many years to do this. And plus, when you're raising the kind of funds that you need to create a museum, it means there's a lot of work of going to to corporations and to private sectors and foundations to ask for this support.